Namaste. This is Sheshachalam from Astro Guide Mysore. Today let us go into the topic of Sun in the 12th house. This might be a little tough to realize because we do not give that importance to the significations of the 12th house. But still, I will try my best to put across the message. So, first we need to understand the significations of the 12th house itself and then going to the manifestation of when Sun is in the 12th house, what actually happens, how it gets transformed. So here, the 12th house has two main properties. The first property is realization. Why is it realization? Because it is the 12th from the first. So if I take the first house as ego, it is the loss of ego. So that means a person would shun all his six shadvargas, that is kama, krodha, mada, matsarya, lobha, moha. All these six shadvargas, he will leave it and then he will start living a life where actually he will have a different type of a realization, and that is why that particular house is called as the sthana of moksha, that is the house of moksha, self-realization and achieving bliss or elevation or what we call as salvation. So salvation is a very far off subject. Let us now think of these smaller ones. The second most important, which is actually abstract and totally different from what is moksha, is total indulgence into the materialistic world. So all the panchendriyas here, the smell, the touch, the sight, the sound and the taste, all these five will get exalted in the 12th house, and depending on the planet there, they will start functioning the way they have to function. So now Sun is here and also in both the Karakatvas. Let us see how actually it will manifest. So I have made some points here. I will read out those points. I think these points are, I have taken some time and I have written them. It may be a little cryptic, but still I will explain these points one by one. All that is fake loses its importance both with respect to relationships, with respect to materialistic luxury, or let us say, for example, the attire. So here, the attire is not just the dress. Let us poetically understand that it is also our makeup, the individuality. How are we poised and how we react, interact with this materialistic world or even the philosophical world for the moksha. So, all that is fake in this will simply lose ground. They will all fall like dominoes. So, only realistic things will start standing there. So, who will do this? The native himself. He will start testing each and everything what he has seen in life, whether it is real or it is false. So, he will go into each and every single point in detail. So, people with this type of a combination, how hard it would be to go through materialistic relationships with people. So there is a sentence which actually makes sense here. Too much of consciousness, is dangerous for a person to blindly enjoy materialistic life or get into entertainment. So usually what will happen is because of too much of consciousness, a person will go into insomnia, sleeplessness, lot of thinking always, because he is conscious. His effort would always want to know what is happening and what is going to happen. So the second point here is that the native becomes very practical, realistic, hence will withdraw from activities which seem to be, wasteful expenses, wasteful extravaganza, momentarily happiness and bodily satisfaction, just for the panchendriya sukha, that is for the taste, So he will slowly retract from it. He will withdraw himself from it. So this is also called as renunciation. You know, to leave one by one. So this is actually a path of moksha. So a fantastic placement of a very bright spiritual planet like Sun in the 12th will give the strength to the native to do this. It is not easy to retract or withdraw from materialistic happiness which we have got attached to. We have got indulgence into it. We have got addicted to it. So most of the time we will be obsessively addicted. So next step is that we are just addicted, and the next step is that yes, we can't live without it. So after that is that yes, I can, but still I would want it, and the final step would be I can live without it. And last step actually would be I am happy. I don't want all that. I am happy with what I am having. So this is the realization what Sun actually gives a person when it is in the 12th, and when it is strong, when it is exalted in its Mula Trikona, own house, only then Sun can give all beautiful results. So coming to the third point, Sun also represents the father, biological father of the person. The person who has given birth to the native. So this particular 12th house placement of Sun is not good. Why? Because it shows the separation. How the separation can be of many different varieties. It cannot stick to one particular thing, that you can't tell that they fought and he simply ran away from his father. No, not like that. That also happens. But separation can be because if for example, let us say Sun is the 5th lord and it is placed in the 12th house. Just giving you an idea. Sun is the 5th lord for Aries, placed in the 12th house. It shows a separation from father because of education. Maybe he goes to the hostel. He stays in the hostel. So if Sun is the 10th lord and it is in the 12th house, he might get separated from the father because of job. Maybe he goes abroad, he travels abroad. If Sun is in different places and still it represents father because it is the natural karaka for father, there is also the chance that the father's longevity might be less, short-lived, because of the malefic position of Sun in the 12th house. So next, let me go to the next point. These people are too practical. So if you are too practical, marriage is like, just a bonding, a companionship and a support. Where is the love, the factor of, the relationship, the affection, all these things simply, get burnt away because Sun is there. But I will also tell you, if there is a pure Sun in the 12th house and the relationship is good with the spouse, then there will be a little bit of spiritual bonding between both of them. So when I tell bonding is not always physical or emotional. It can be psychological, spiritual and intellectual. So the rays of Sun will start for these, the last 3 parts of bonding. That's the psychological, spiritual and intellectual bonding. So the 12th house is a good placement. The people with the this particular placement, if has malefic combinations like Ketu, like Rahu, like Saturn, along with that, in certain rashis, not in all rashis, because some rashis Saturn gets debilitated, Sun gets exalted, Sun gets debilitated, Saturn gets exalted. All this. So there will be trouble in the eye. There will be diseases with regard to biliousness, diseases of deficiency like anemia, blood deficiency. It might lead into bleeding. It might lead into piles. So many problems causing hemorrhage. So internal hemorrhage. So there might be. So we need to know which sort of a planet is associated with Sun in the 12th house. So they will succeed in most of their ventures, like when they are into jobs. If Sun is very well posited, these people can become very good Ayurvedic doctors, surgeons, architects, planners, politicians, police, sportsman, many others. But most of the time they will be into more of a building kind of a job, progressive kind of a job, positive. Sun is a very positive planet. It never gets depressed. Sun is the last planet to get depressed. The only thing Sun can do if it is malefic is give you palpitation and anxiety. So if Sun is not malefic, it will give you a lot of confidence and sometimes overconfidence, which is dangerous. Egoistic overconfidence. So all this depends on where it is placed, which nakshatra it is placed, how it falls into the D9 and the D10 charts. So with Ketu in the 12th, the person might travel a lot and sometimes become a wanderer. So this is also, one of the yogas which is in social terms known as the Daridra yoga. Why is it Daridra? Because nobody wants somebody to leave everything and simply keep roaming around on the street. So, Sun with Ketu in the 12th, if the Lagnadipati is weak, if the Lagnadipati has got malefically influenced, particularly if the Lagnadipati has gone to the 12th also along with Sun, so he doesn't go abroad and settle with a good job. If it is malefically placed, he will be out of his house on the street. So this is also one combination which is a very rare combination to see, but still I need to tell that. So loss of wealth, sudden hospitalization, all this can happen in that case. So there is only one more point which is very important here. If Sun is weak, debilitated or with Rahu, the native might become rude, harsh in speech. He might be very blunt, very frank. He might also have tendencies of getting into he or she. I am not telling only he. If I tell he, in biology we keep telling man, man, man. So that doesn't mean that we are not explaining anything about the woman. So it's he and she might get into extramarital affairs, and then get neglected in social society. So what is this getting neglected? Because usually Sun wants the native to gain social respect and social status. And if it is malefically posited in the 12th house, he will lose both. He will lose the social respect, he will lose the social status. And it might be a sudden impact or it might be a deterioration which has happened for many years. So we need to understand this. All this is a very complex subject. Astrology is not easy to simply, just read it from books and finish it. You need people to explain. So I am explaining it, but still whatever I am trying to do is just scratching the surface of the subject. So go deep into it, take these ideas, dig and dig deeper, and you will understand each and every position of the planet and its thing. Thank you very much for today's class. I hope I have covered a lot of subjects in the 12th house. Thank you.